Every captain on every ship knows exactly which passengers are going to have a bad cruise, because they're making the same avoidable mistakes before the ship even leaves the dock. 30 years at sea, and one morning in Miami stays with me. A family of 4 made the gangway by 4 minutes. Delayed flight, wrong documents, no hotel the night before. The mother was still shaking when she handed me her boarding pass. She thought the hard part was over. It was just starting. Here are 13 mistakes a captain would never make as a passenger. Even number 9 alone could recover thousands of dollars with just one phone call. 1. Fly in day before. Flying into your departure city the morning your ship sails is the single biggest gamble in cruising. One cancelled flight, and you've paid for a cruise you never take. The ship will not hold for you. Rebooking flights to the next port, last-minute hotels, emergency transport. That's easily $1,500 to $4,000 lost. On top of the cruise itself, fly in a full day early. Book a pre-cruise hotel. $150 is nothing against a cruise that costs thousands. That one night is the cheapest insurance you'll ever buy. Pro tip: select your boarding window during online check-in and arrive early. Shorter queues, first pick of embarkation day spa deals, and a quieter ship to explore before the crowds board. That one hotel night could save your entire cruise. Hit like and subscribe so the rest of these mistakes never catch you off guard. 2. Wrong cabin location. Most passengers pick a cabin on price or the word balcony. A captain picks on physics. Captain Alessandro Genzo, 20 years on Princess ships, put it plainly: center of the ship, lower decks. That's where the hull moves least when seas turn rough. The bow pitches into every wave, the stern vibrates from the engines, and the upper decks amplify every roll. Midship, lower down, sits at the ship's center of gravity, the point that barely moves. A friend booked a forward upper deck cabin for the views. By night 2, she was flat on her back watching the ceiling sway. 3 days of 7, gone, the bow pitches, the stern vibrates. Midship lower passenger decks are the captain's choice. Book early, those cabins sell out 6 to 8 months ahead. Follow his lead. 3. Skipping real travel insurance. Most passengers grab the cruise line's thin plan and assume they're covered. Once your ship leaves US waters, Medicare and most domestic health plans stop. A medical evacuation at sea can exceed $100,000, sometimes $250,000. The average cruise in 2026 costs around $8,000. A comprehensive third-party policy runs about $500 and covers at least $100,000 in emergency medical and $250,000 in evacuation. Buy within 14 to 21 days of your deposit to keep your pre-existing condition waiver alive. What's coming up could change how you book every cabin, every excursion, and every dollar you spend on board. 4. Booking a guarantee cabin. Guarantee cabins look like a deal. You pick the category, inside, ocean view, balcony. The cruise line picks the exact room. I did it once. I won't make that mistake again. A colleague booked a guarantee balcony on a European sailing and landed above the entertainment deck. Nightclub thudding through the floor until 2 in the morning. A lifeboat blocking most of the view. She called guest services day 1. Nothing could be done. The line assigns the least in-demand rooms to guarantee bookings. Book an exact cabin, pull up the deck plan, check what's directly above and below your room, and spend 2 minutes on Cruise Critic before you confirm. That's the entire fix. Pro tip: use cruisedeckplans.com alongside forum reviews to map noise hotspots before booking. Cabins above nightclubs, below the buffet, or beside elevator banks are almost always what guarantee assignments deliver. 5. Excursions need time buffer. Independent excursions can be brilliant, cheaper, less crowded, more personal. The catch: the ship only waits for its own. In early 2024, 8 passengers returned late from a private tour on the African island of São Tomé and Príncipe. Norwegian Dawn denied boarding despite the tour operator calling ahead. One family reportedly incurred $9,000 chasing the ship across multiple countries. If you go independent, end your tour at least 2 hours before all aboard, not 1 hour too. Photograph the daily planner with the port agent's number. Carry your passport off the ship every port day. For volatile ports or far inland trips, book the ship's tour and let the captain manage the clock. 6. Never skip muster drill. A retired crew member told me, in a real emergency, the captain's first move is to send every passenger to a station they've already located. If you've never found yours, that moment is not when you want to be searching. The muster drill is maritime law, and what it gives you is practical. Your station number, the route to it, how to don a life jacket, and the emergency signal. 7 short blasts, 1 long. Most lines run e-muster, 10 minutes on the app, a check-in at your station, done. Your muster station is on your cruise card and inside your stateroom door, first thing when you board. Pro tip: finishing e-muster first frees you to enjoy the sail-away party and the ship's quietest hours before the crowds arrive. Now the next point is where most passengers lose hundreds thinking they're saving it. 7. Auto-buying the drink package. The beverage package feels safe and all-inclusive. The math usually disagrees. With mandatory gratuity factored in, a standard package runs $85 to $90 per person per day. To break even, you need 5 to 6 cocktails every single day. And port days drop your onboard consumption close to zero. Several private islands don't honor the package. Most lines require both adults in a cabin to buy in. Run the numbers. Package price plus 20% gratuity divided by your usual drink cost equals your daily break-even. 1 to 3 drink cruiser, pay per drink. Pre-purchase online, almost always cheaper than on board. Ever had a cruise mistake cost you more than you expected? Drop your story below. Let's help the next passenger cruise smarter. 8. Check your folio early. Most passengers don't look at their folio until checkout. By then, guest services wraps the corridor. A couple I know opened their account on the final morning of a Caribbean sailing. 2 specialty dinners billed twice. A bar charge from a night they didn't drink, gratuity stacking all week. Last 2 hours of their vacation, a dispute queue. In 2026, automatic gratuities run $17 to $20 per person per day. A family of 4 over 7 nights is close to $500 before a souvenir. Add drinks, Wi-Fi, and excursions and extras can easily overtake the base fare. Check your folio on day 3 in the app, not day 7. That gives you time to fix errors while the week is still ahead. 9. Always ask price drop. Cruise fares move on dynamic pricing. Constantly. Most passengers book, congratulate themselves, and never look again. One traveler booked a May 2026 Norwegian sailing at $11,500. By final payment, it had dropped to $6,800. A $4,700 gap, potentially recovered with one phone call. Before final payment, you have the most leverage. Lines would rather reprice than lose the booking. If a rep offers only onboard credit, mention you're considering cancelling and rebooking. Most move to the lower price. After final payment, call anyway. A polite ask often produces a credit or upgrade. Pro tip: check your fare weekly from booking to final payment. Prices drop most during wave season and 60 to 90 days before sailing. Don't skip the final power tip. It's the one thing every captain knows and almost no passenger ever does. 10. Prepaying for specialty dining. Specialty dining packages look like a discount. Run the actual math and the picture changes fast. A 5-night package runs $40 to $50 per person per meal. Up to $400 committed before you've tasted a single dish. The gap between MDR and specialty is atmosphere and menu variety, not food quality. The main dining room serves genuine multi-course meals included in your fare. Book 1 or 2 specialty meals for a special occasion through the app on embarkation day before everyone else boards. Don't judge the ship's food by the embarkation day buffet. It's the worst meal you'll have all week. 11. Overpaying for Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi packages are priced per day, per device, and add up fast. Most passengers don't realize the cruise line's own app is already free. Connect to the ship's Wi-Fi network. No charge, no password, and it works in full. Daily schedule, deck plans, dining and show reservations, and group messaging with your travel party. Everything most people need at zero cost. Buy a paid internet package only if you genuinely need the outside world. Work emails, video calls. For everything ship-related, the free app handles it. 12. Always carry your passport. Closed-loop cruises technically allow a birth certificate and driver's license. A captain would never recommend it. Honeymooners Diane De Palma and her new husband were denied boarding Carnival's Legend. They'd mistaken their real IDs for enhanced driver's licenses. A real ID proves identity, not citizenship. An EDL proves both. They look nearly identical. That mix-up ended a honeymoon at the terminal door. Cruise with a valid passport, at least 6 months of validity past your return. Carry it off the ship every port day, not in the cabin safe. Pro tip: before you sail, photograph your passport, insurance documents, and itinerary and email them to yourself. If your bag is lost ashore, everything you need is in your inbox. One more, the mistake that quietly exhausts even passengers who got everything else right. 13. Trying to do everything. Captain Kate McHugh, the first American female captain of a mega cruise ship, was asked the single biggest mistake first-time cruisers make. Her answer: trying to do everything. Excursions are exhausting. Long lines test your body at every turn. Packing every port back-to-back leaves you dragging toward the flight home, wondering why a vacation left you more tired than rested. Pick 2 or 3 things you genuinely want. Leave real, unscheduled time in each port. Spend at least 1 sea day doing nothing. Pace yourself like someone who knows the ship will be back. Final power tip. The dirtiest secret in cruising isn't hidden in the fine print. It's this: every system on that ship, the cabin pricing, the drink packages, the gratuity structure, the excursion markups, is designed around the passenger who boards without questions. That passenger is the most profitable person on the ship. The least profitable, the one sitting right where you are now, who knows exactly what to ask, when to call, and what to never book blind. That's the passenger a captain would be. Everything you just heard is only half the story. A cruise insider exposes the drink package secrets the bar staff will never tell you. It's right there on your screen.